McDermott.
I obviously liked the start of the game. I liked the start of the second half, except for that 2-minute defensive possession when we couldn't seem to get a rebound. But other than that, I thought our activity was better, our hand activity, I thought our ball pressure, some of the things we did with the double teams were effective, forced them into some turnovers and turned that into some baskets. So we didn't shoot it great again from three, and that's got to be something that we're better at. And I think we got a lot of the right shots for the right guys. They just didn't make them. But I thought they came out of halftime with some energy, and that's what I wanted to see.
Questions from student athletes first.
Blake, you were out there in the starting five again. What contributed to such a hot start tonight?
I'd probably just say my teammates helped me and instilling confidence in me, and my coaches. I feel like it was a rough summer, definitely for my transition here, and I feel like trying to get in the groove of things, and trying to become more of a leader with my voice and communicate that to my teammates.
I know the opponent is different than what you guys saw on Tuesday. Did the offense feel more connected than it did a couple nights ago?
I feel like, being at Gonzaga is a tough environment. I feel like we came out, a little bit soft, not as physical, and it was definitely a point of emphasis in practice that, we used our voice. And I feel like, we had a couple of drills that also connected us. And, just as a team more, I feel like on Tuesday night we was a little bit more scramble, one-on-one basketball. And I feel like I said, it was a point of emphasis this week in practice to, play more as a team and, get everybody touches as well.
In the last 10 minutes of the first half, a little rough. They were playing kind of weird zone. Did you guys have a tough time kind of figuring that out and getting some rhythm there in the first half?
I wouldn't say we necessarily had a tough time figuring it out, but there were some things that we should have and could have been doing to break down the zone a lot easier, and we just kind of weren't doing them. So it was kind of a point of emphasis during halftime, just a couple things that we could get into if they were to run that zone again, and I feel like we handled it a lot better in the second half.
Jason, is some of that just what comes with having so many new guys on the floor at a time?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously we have 9 new players this year, so there's just a lot of teaching points that have to go around, and we haven't played against too much zone this year yet, but we worked on it throughout practice this week just because we knew we might see a little bit of it tonight, and I feel like we handled it decently, but we definitely got a little ways to go with it.
Jason, you're playing 2 different positions at this point. Do you have to kind of approach things differently when you're out there offensively depending on what spot you're in?
I mean, yeah, just the principle of what each position is doing is different, obviously, but I've been in the program for so long, and I've been honestly playing those 2 positions here for a little bit, so I feel like I'm getting more and more comfortable with playing both of them at the same time. Like, there's a little bit of a mindset switch on what I'm doing offensively, but overall the goal is still the same, just put the ball in the basket.
Maybe you guys saw it differently. How did you notice the team rally after Tuesday and lock back in to play in this one tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a long season. We can't hang our heads on one loss, and I feel like special thing with college basketball is a fast turnaround. Like on Tuesday, that wasn't our best effort at all. That wasn't us as a team, and I feel like it was, like I said, a point of emphasis in practice to get our feet back under us and, try to turn this thing around.
Anything else from the student athletes?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
See you Sunday. Good
Thanks,
job, sir.
We'll continue with questions for Coach.
Zach, I know the opponent is different than Tuesday, but did it feel good just to have a win like this to bounce back?
Yeah. Like I said, I wasn't crazy about the last 15 minutes of the first half. And, the zone paralyzed us a little bit more than it should have. And, we had some pretty good looks at the basket and didn't make them. But we didn't get it into the teeth of it as much as we did the second half. So I would have liked to thought we could have handled that. But, I thought the energy was there. I thought there was some enthusiasm. I thought we got into the ball better defensively, which was really a point of emphasis the last couple of days.
We're only 3 different looks at center. What do you like about kind of how that's flowing so far, getting all 3 of those guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, and obviously with, Owen still trying to get back in shape, it's kind of out of necessity right now. And, Karen's learning. It's a steep learning curve not being here all summer, and missing everything that he missed, and then the language barrier is a little bit of an issue too. But Jasen gives us some stability there, and I know what I'm going to get, and it's he was pretty effective when he was out there. I thought Karam the second half, that's what we need to see, that kind of pressure on the rim that he puts on the rim, and I think he can do some special things defensively as well. But it's going to be a process with Owen, as I've said from the start. It's just going to take some time.
Was it an emphasis to kind of play through him early on? I think he scored or assisted your first 12.
We want to try to get him the ball and establish him. I think, besides coming back from an injury and the conditioning component, I think you'll probably lose a little confidence when you're out that long, because your mind is telling you that I can do all this stuff that I used to be able to do, but your body's not there yet. So I think the more times he can see good things happen, whether it's making a nice pass and a nice read or finishing a basket, I think it's really good for him.
What did change in the second half? What allowed you guys to probe the paint a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, we got into the teeth of that zone a little bit more and played inside out, and I think our pace finally wore into him. Pace isn't necessarily going to wear into a team the first half, but as you have to play against it for 40 minutes, all of a sudden you're going to be a half step slow and you're going to get some easier baskets. So the ball moved better. I thought our action off the ball was better the second half, but it's I think our pace probably wore into him.
Had Josh a little bit more run at the point tonight. What'd you like, or what you see from those lineups out there?
Yeah, I wanted to see it. He had 4 assists, no turnovers, so I like that part of it. It's an opportunity to kind of play a different lineup at times, but we're still trying to kind of find this rotation and what's best for us. I thought obviously we got 39 points, 36 points off the bench tonight, so there were some good contributions there.
That's kind of what I was going to ask you on the post-game show after Gonzaga. You said you're still trying to find guys to consistently hook it up. Did tonight help in that regard?
Yeah, probably a little. I mean, I need to watch the film and see if guys were in the right spot, doing the right things, and that they have to bring consistency off the bench. I'd love to have a deep team. I'd love to play a lot of guys, but a lot of guys have to be doing what they're supposed to do. And if they can't do that, then we have to shorten it. And I think they can. I think they can work at it, and they can work through some of that. But they've got to hold themselves to a pretty high standard of accountability.
On Tuesday, after the Gonzaga game, you spoke about making the same mistakes day after day in practice and needing to correct those as reps. What does the game today and against North Dakota help you guys prepare for before you go to Vegas and play some tougher teams?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's consistency. I took Owen out of the game early in the second half because he's jumping around at every shot fake, and we've really tried to work with him. He was foul prone at Iowa, and that's why. So we're trying to get him to use his physicality and stay on the floor and put his chest on a guy and make those baskets hard instead of jumping around putting guys on the free throw line. So sometimes the bench is the best teacher in the world. But we need 3. We had 2 really good days of practice after the Gonzaga game. We're off tomorrow, and then we'll have 3 days going up leading up to the North Dakota game. And while the game tonight was really important that we get out and play and do some things in front of a crowd, the 2 days of practice and these 3 days of practice coming up are going to be really important. And North Dakota is a much different team than the one we play tonight, so we've just got to be ready to execute and try to take them out of what they want to do.
Was Hudson here tonight?
He's sick, yeah, and Liam was as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mac.
No hair on the Eastern Shore.
What's up?
No hair on the Eastern Shore here.